to Hot FM, based in Quezon City, Manila. Manila's greatest hits starts here.
Time hits to 10:31 in the evening. Good evening and welcome to the program Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and around the world. This is koolNews Primetime. From the headquarters of Hot FM, I'm DJ Sen. We are also live with our friends at News Radio 93.1 and CN Radio 1206 AM. We start our broadcast tonight with the Department of Transportation has created a special committee to review the government's modernization program for public utility vehicles or PUVs. It is expected to submit its recommendations on how to proceed with the public transport modernization program to Transport Secretary Vince Dizon within 1 week from the issuance of the order, as well as perform other duties necessary to fast-track its implementation. The special committee will be chaired by Mark Steven Pastor, DOTR's Undersecretary for Road Transport and Infrastructure. Its members are Ramon Reyes, the Assistant DOTR Secretary for Road Transport and Infrastructure, former Cainta Mayor Ramon Mon Ilagan, the newly appointed head of the Office of Transportation Cooperatives, and LTO Chief Vigor Mendoza II. Also on Monday, Dizon finally met with members of Transport Group Manibela, which staged a 3-day transport strike last week in protest of the modernization program. One of his group's immediate request to the DOTR was to allow their members to reclaim their old routes, either by returning their franchise or granting them a provisional authority. They also asked that the LTFRB allow them to be reconfirmed and to waive their penalties so that they could register their vehicles with the LTO. During the said meeting, Manibela President and Senatorial candidate Mar Balbuena expressed openness to join the program if the government can convince them that it is really good and it is good of the public. Dizon earlier said that he would come up with a quote-unquote solution in 2 weeks' time after the Transportation Department sits down with various stakeholders to iron out issues regarding the controversial program. Balbuena earlier called for the resignation of LTFRB Chair Teofilo Guadis III, saying that he deceived President Marcos Jr. by giving him inaccurate consolidation figures, which led the president to push through with the modernization program last year. Following the extended November 29 deadline for consolidation, the LTFRB said that 86.23% or 165,334 out of 191,730 passenger vehicles have applied for consolidation under the modernization program. A Canadian court has dismissed a defamation case filed by the Iglesia ni Cristo against a broadcasting corporation over publications alleging corruption and other crimes after the religious group repeatedly failed to comply with court orders. Justice Kenneth Champagne of the Court of King's Bench Winnipeg Center wrote the ruling in the case against the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation or the CBC. Champagne said in a ruling dated February 7, 2025, quote, "This is an extreme case of repeated non-compliance with the rules. I have concluded that there is no likelihood that the plaintiffs would comply with further court orders. Therefore, the extraordinary but appropriate remedy is to dismiss the action. In addition, I strike the plaintiffs' claim without leave to amend as the claim is an abuse of the process of the court." He also found that the Iglesia ni Cristo used court processes to silence its critics and employed a, quote, litigation strategy designed to waste resources. Whoever is calling the shots for INC has previously made a determined efforts to use the court process to silence their critics, Champagne added, as he concluded that this conduct is unacceptable and reprehensible as it diminishes the court's integrity and undermines confidence in the administration of justice. Reporters has reached out to INC spokesman Edwil Sabala through call and text message, but has yet to receive a response as of posting time. In a statement, co-defendant and former evangelical worker Luel Menorca II said the ruling was not only a victory, but a beacon of hope for all those who suffered under the oppressive tactics of the INC. He said that let us stand together to expose and reject the hypocrisy of a leader who preaches love while spreading hate even towards his own family. Let us demand accountability, transparency, and integrity from both our religious and political leaders. In February 2019, 6 INC members filed their case against the CBC after it released a series of publications that disclose allegations of financial corruption, kidnapping, and murder against the INC in October and November 2018. The defendants said that the publications are true. The information given to the public was fair commentary on matters of public interest, and the information was, quote, responsible communication. In his ruling, Champagne noted that the plaintiff, the complainants in the case, continuously failed to meet their discovery obligations and ignored the request of the defendants and the orders from the court. He also said that the INC failed to produce one document that specifically relates to Dizon, who was a member of 13 years, which is the former minister under the defendants named on that case. He said that another unacceptable conduct relates to Menorca, who is the former evangelical worker we have mentioned earlier. Champagne said that it directed the plaintiffs to provide a decision about their intention to proceed against Menorca. Months later, the court found that the INC indicated that it would no longer continue the legal action against him. Champagne also noted deficiencies in the testimony of Brother Rivi Mediciello, whom the plaintiffs presented during the examination for discovery, where one party asked an opposing party questions about the issues in the case as he occupied a senior position in INC in Alberta. He added that his knowledge was based on what had been publicly reported. He had no knowledge about the 6 corporate plaintiffs, was unable to identify individuals who held leadership roles within the INC, and he had no knowledge of the individuals identified in the publications released by the CBC. Champagne said the active defendants are entitled to costs related to the case. Another petition has been filed before the Supreme Court in the Philippines, seeking to compel Congress to enact a law defining and banning political dynasties, calling it a desperate attempt to give life to the 1987 Constitution and a relief from the chokehold political dynasties have placed on this nation. The Sambayan Coalition, represented by retired Supreme Court Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, along with San Lakas, retired Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales, retired military officials, priests, academics, and lawyers, filed the petition for certiorari and mandamus before the High Tribunal on Monday. In the latest petition, the petitioners urged the Supreme Court to issue a ruling compelling Congress to comply with Article 2, Section 26 of the Constitution by enacting a law prohibiting political dynasties and providing a clear and accurate definition in line with its constitutional duty to ensure equal access to opportunities in public service. They also asked that Congress be required to pass the law within 1 year from receipt of the High Tribunal's decision granting their petition. Additionally, the petitioners requested the Supreme Court to hold Congress in contempt if it fails to comply with the ruling within the prescribed time frame. Named as respondents in the case were the Senate, represented by Senate President Chis Escudero, and the House of Representatives, represented by House Speaker Martin Romualdez. In their 48-page petition, the petitioners argued that Congress has effectively and unlawfully, quote, rewritten the Constitution by refusing to pass a law defining and prohibiting political dynasties despite the explicit obligation imposed by the Charter. The petitioners said that even though nearly 4 decades have passed, the Congress of the Philippines, in direct contravention of the Constitution's mandate, has deliberately refused to enact an anti-political dynasty law. The petitioners delve into the deliberations of the 1986 Constitutional Commission, which they said showed the framers included an anti-dynasty provision to widen the opportunity of competent, young, and promising but poor candidates to occupy important positions in government. The petitioners added that the Filipino people, through the 1987 Constitution, have recognized political dynasties as an extremely virulent blight to a democratic society, which is why they should be prohibited. A motorcycle rider died after he hit a center island and was thrown off the vehicle in Sampaloc, Manila. In a report, the motorcycle rider was a call center agent on his way home from work past midnight on Saturday. According to a witness, the motorcycle rider was driving fast. After he hit the center island, his head was stuck in the steering wheel of the motorcycle. The motorcycle rider died due to the sustained severe injuries on his head and other parts of his body. CCTV footage showed that the bystander approached the incident area and picked up the scattered items. The motorcycle rider's family said that among the stolen items were his phone. The barangay also advised motorists to be cautious since the area is accident-prone. Barangay personnel has also added that the belongings of the motorcycle rider were stolen by a bystander, as emergency medical technician Nestor Alcerit said that they saw the motorcycle driver was not wearing a helmet. A grass fire broke out on Taal Volcano Island on Tuesday, PHIVOLCS said, as according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, the grass fire was observed affecting the Binintiang Monti observation station in the southwest portion of Taal Volcano Island, and the incident was first recorded at 11:24 a.m. PHIVOLCS said that as of 8:02 p.m., the fire was still ongoing. Meanwhile, the agency assures the public that it is monitoring the situation. On the other hand, Alert Level 1 continues to prevail over the volcano. Lawmakers threatened on Friday a blogger with contempt after he claimed during a House hearing that Philippine forces conduct water cannon attacks like what China's vessels did in the West Philippine Sea. In the end, blogger Mark Lopez apologized to the House Tri-Committee holding an inquiry into fake news and social media for making that statement. This all started after Deputy Speaker David Suarez asked Philippine Coast Guard Commodore J. Tariela at the hearing if he had been on the receiving end of social media attacks due to his ardent defense of the country's territories. Suarez told Lopez, "Kunyari, nung tinitira ng water cannons, masakit sa akin yon. Pag binabangga yung mga Coast Guard vessels natin na mga dambuhalang Chinese vessels, masakit sa akin yon. Masakit po yun pag ginagawa ng ibang bansa at Malaysia, pero yun po ang nature ng base sa South China Sea. Tayo rin po sir, tayo rin po nagwa-water cannon, Mr. Chair," Lopez replied. Lopez's statement prompted Suarez, Committee Presiding Officer, and Surigao del Sur 2nd District Representative Johnny Pimentel, and Abang Lingkod Party List Representative Joseph Stephen Paduano to demand that the blogger clarify his statements. Lopez replied, "Mr. Chair, I did not know anything about water cannons attacks against China." Paduano said that while it is true that Lopez did not mention anything about water cannon attacks against China, the blogger said something about the Philippines doing water cannon attacks, which the lawmakers said were spoken in the context of discussions regarding the West Philippine Sea. Representative Paduano asked, "Now, you are correct that you did not say anything about water cannon attacks against China, but we are talking about the West Philippine Sea. Now, what is that water cannon attack you are speaking of?" "Mr. Chair," Lopez replied, "I premised my statement because I have been saying that the South China Sea issue is a complex issue." But Paduano warned Lopez not to evade his question or he will be cited for contempt or for lying. Lopez reiterated, "Mr. Chair, what I said is that the Philippines can do water cannon attacks also." Lopez simply concluded, "Mr. Chair, I will apologize. I am wrong. I am spreading fake news. What I am saying is that we can do water cannon attacks regarding the South China Sea issue. I am spreading fake news." Lopez is one of the bloggers invited by the Tri-Committee to the hearing, which seeks to look into the spread of disinformation online after several resolutions were filed and different privileged speeches about the issue were delivered. On our weather forecast now, as dangerous heat index levels will continue in Dagupan City on Tuesday, according to the State Weather Bureau. For this day, April 1, Dagupan is forecast to have a heat index of 46 degrees Celsius, according to Pagasa. Pagasa said that 3 other areas nationwide will also see similar levels of heat indexes, as ranging from 42 degrees to 51 degrees, the heat index under the danger category can likely cause heat cramps and heat exhaustion, while heat stroke is probable with continued exposure to the sun. Extreme danger, or the highest category of heat index level, is declared when the heat index temperature reaches 52 degrees and beyond. Meanwhile, Tuesday's heat indexes in Pagasa Station at Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Pasay City and Science Garden in Quezon City may be at 37 degrees Celsius. Heat index measures the level of discomfort an average person experiences due to combined effects of the temperature and air humidity. As the time hits to 10:45, don't go anywhere. The news continues when koolNews Primetime returns after the break.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Delsat TV. Enjoy SD and high-definition channels when you subscribe to Delsat TV. Shalom Kainan Restaurants, the Philippines' first ever contemporary Filipino Jewish cuisine. Now serving you in 10 locations nationwide. Surf Bar and Fabric Conditioner. Smart Dishwashing Paste. Double tanggaling formula against sebo and bacteria. Smart Dishwashing Paste, a product of ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality. ACS. Neutral Lifestyle Low-Fat Milk Powder. So good you'll float. Product excellence of Hongsang. TVC Drugs. Serbisyong tapat, alagang sapat. And People's Bank. Equal banking for the Filipino people. People's Bank of the Philippines is a member of Crosslink and supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Going on a Holy Week break? Here are some safety reminders. The PNP advised those staying at home to do the following. Close and lock windows and doors properly. Avoid placing expensive belongings near windows and doors. As much as possible, keep an open light outside the house. If no one can be left at home, ask for assistance from your most entrusted neighbor. It is beneficial to have pet dogs, which can serve as an animal barrier. Avoid posting your current whereabouts during vacation. Invest in a CCTV camera for your household. And always save and remember the contact number of the nearest barangay office and police station. For those traveling to their respective provinces to take a break outside of the city, the PNP gave the following tips. Come early to the terminal, airport, or ferry to avoid delays. Bring enough money. Always be wary of robbers or scammers in the area. Familiarize yourself with the nearest first aid station or police assistance desk. And bring drinking water. Vacation goers are also urged to keep the following tips in mind. To dress appropriately for the place they're visiting. Avoid public displays of excessive jewelry and overpacking. And most of all, maintain always in the spirit of prayer and worship as we remember the Lord Jesus Christ for his significance of everlasting life on the cross. A message from the TVH Group of Networks Incorporated.
Hot FM. Ang lakas mo, may lalakas pa. Sa Revicon Forte, may muscle-building amino acids tulong para mas lumakas ang katawan with proper diet and exercise. Pag malakas ang katawan, lumalakas din ang loob. May lakas para sa ambisyon mo. Revicon Forte! Lakas!
Unilab yan. Multivitamins, minerals, and amino acids is the generic name of Revicon Forte.
Ang numero unong kailangan sa ngayon, extra strong ka dapat para di ka mawasak ng anumang hamong ibigay sa'yo. Ang hanap ng Red Horse Beer, extra strong na tulad mo. Lakas. Tama. Kayang tumindig at harapin ang mga pagsubok na parating. Panatag ang loob na bukas na namnamin mo ang iyong tagumpay. Lakas ng tama pero di wasak sa hamon ng bukas.
Red Horse Extra Strong, the number one extra strong beer in the world.
Drink responsibly.
Breastfeeding mom ka ba? Tulungan si babyng mabusog at malusog. I-try mo na! Morsibit! Morsibit! Your partner in breastfeeding. Nakakatulong. Pampagatas, pampalakas ng immune system at pag-regulate ng blood sugar at cholesterol. Morsibit! Morsibit! Manufactured by Grow Reach Manufacturing Incorporated. For information, call at 0977-899-0045. On hand, makakausap mo si Dr. Edmundo Villalucis, Medical Director and Product Researcher and Developer. Morsibit! Morsibit!
Pamilyang Pilipino, binigyang saya ni Pia. Proteksyon para sa mga ina at mga bata. Sinulong ni Pia sa Expanded Breastfeeding Promotion Act. Expanded Maternity Leave. Ngayon, 105 days na. Kampiyon ng mga atletang Pilipino. Doktor para sa bayan. Patas ni Pia para sa kalusugan ng lahat. Pia Cayetano. Kailangan ibalik sa Senado. Political advertisement is paid for and by Pilar Juliana Sharam Cayetano, Paragon Plaza Condominium, EDSA Corner, Reliance Street, Street, Mandaluyong City.
Mag-enroll sa Asian Institute of Computer Studies. Ang AICS ay nag-offer ng BS Computer Science, BS Computer Engineering, BS Entrepreneurship, Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education. For senior high school, AICS offers STEM, HUMS, ABM, GAS, ICT, and IA. For public junior high school completers, guaranteed, no tuition fee, no top-up, free one set of school uniform or PE uniform. Enroll now. Visit www.aics.edu.ph.
Para di madaling masira ang ngipin ng pamilya, ngayon pa lang,
Unique toothpaste for brushing every after kumain.
dahil ang unique toothpaste may Max Protect formula.
Ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa.
Helps stop cavities even before they start, while keeping breath fresh with regular use.
Unique toothpaste for brushing para siguraduhin ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa. Unique
Max Alaga, Max Protectado with unique toothpaste maximum fluoride protection. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS. Ako, ikaw, everybody, every bubbly, pop a Kelly. Si ate, si teacher at little boy, si BF, si Freddy at Mang Boy. Every bubbly, pop a Kelly. Pati flavors keep a bubbly. Pineapple, Cali bubbly, apple, Cali bubbly, light, Cali bubbly. Pati you, me, sila sweet. Everybody, every bubbly, pop a Kelly. Magnolia, feeling good, set up.
Sa ulo ng mga balita.
Nabitin? Magtusiran Forte with Total Cough Relief Formula. Laban sa dry non-stop ubo, kati sa lalamunan due to post-nasal drip at sakit sa kakaubo.
Tusiran Forte!
Unilab yan. Dextromethorphan, HBr plus phenylpropanolamine HCl plus paracetamol is the generic name of Tusiran Forte. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Hot FM is an NBS radio station. Manila's You're listening to Hot FM.
Welcome back to Cool News Primetime. Let's head over now to the international news as U.S. President Donald Trump and close ally Elon Musk weigh in over Marine Le Pen's conviction after the far-right National Rally leader was found guilty of embezzlement and barred from running in the 2027 French presidential election. Trump called the court's decision a, quote, very big deal on Monday. She was banned for 5 years and she was the leading candidate, Trump added. That sounds like this country. That sounds like very much like this country, he added, an apparent reference to legal cases he faced before taking office for a second term. He added that, I know all about it, and a lot of people thought she wasn't going to be convicted of anything. The South African-born tech billionaire Elon Musk blasted the court's verdict, which will see Le Pen and 24 co-defendants also face a 4-year prison sentence and a €100,000 fine for siphoning European Parliament funds to pay for party employees back home. Musk said on Monday that this is their standard playbook throughout the world. When the radical left can't win via democratic vote, they abuse the legal system to jail their opponents. Musk, who has increasingly backed far-right movements across Europe, said the court verdict would, quote, backfire in a separate post. Speaking to French TV channel TF1 in her first reaction to the verdict, Le Pen called the ruling a political decision and said that millions of French people are outraged. She would remain ineligible to be a candidate until the appeal is decided. She said in that same interview at TF1, it's a fatal day for our democracy. There is no personal enrichment, so there is no corruption. She added, I'm going to pursue all possible avenues of appeal. A total of 8 National Rally MEPs and their 12 assistants were also found guilty and barred from running for office. The party was also fined €2 million. Le Pen and 24 other National Rally members were found guilty of embezzling money intended for European Parliament aides to pay staff who worked for the party over nearly 12 years. The court estimated that the European Parliament's total loss was at 2.9 million euros, with Le Pen personally embezzling around 474,000 euros. Let's be clear, according to Judge Benedicte de Pertuis, no one is on trial for doing politics. That's not the issue. The issue was whether or not the contracts have been executed. There was no personal enrichment, but there was the enrichment of a party. Leaders from the European Parliament's right-wing Patriots for Europe bloc have rallied around Le Pen after the sentencing. Leaders of Patriot-affiliated parties have also expressed solidarity with the National Rally's founder. This was Marine, or I am Marine, according to Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Matteo Salvini, the leader of Italy's League Party, posted on a picture with the French politician, quote, "I back Marine." The League's delegation in the European Parliament considered the ruling as political and disproportionate and the greatest judicial scandal of the Fifth French Republic. I am shocked by the incredible tough verdict against Marine Le Pen, according to Dutch nationalist leader Geert Wilders, founder and president of PVV, adding that he is confident that she will win the appeal and become president of France. Statements of solidarity and accusations towards the French judiciary also arrive in Belgium and Greece. Justice has done its job, according to Valerie Heyer, the chair of the centrist Renew Europe group. We need to accept it, and I call on everyone to bear responsibility. China on Tuesday sent its army, navy, air, and rocket forces to surround Taiwan for drills Beijing said were aimed at practicing its blockade of the self-ruled island. Beijing has increased the deployment of fighter jets and naval vessels around Taiwan in recent years to press its claim on sovereignty, which Taipei rejects. The exercises are aimed at sending a stern warning and forceful deterrence to alleged separatists in Taiwan, Beijing said, as according to Senior Colonel Shi Yi, the spokesman of the Chinese military's Eastern Theater Command. They involve sea, air, combat readiness, patrols, joint seizures of comprehensive superiority, assault on maritime and ground targets, and blockade on key areas and sea lanes. Taiwan President Lai Ching-te last month called China a foreign hostile force and proposed measures to combat Chinese espionage and infiltration. The Chinese military's Eastern Theater Command, which oversees operations along the Taiwan Strait, shared a graphic with the title, quote, "Closing In." Another graphic shared by the military depicted Lai as an insect being roasted over an open fire. And the video shared by the military on X like Weibo showed footage of fighter jets, naval vessels, and missile launchers interspersed with animations of Sun Wukong, the legendary Monkey King from the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West. The video climaxes with Chinese forces appearing to use satellites to mark targets across Taiwan before ending with a flurry of rocket explosions while multiple Monkey Kings attack a giant frog monster. And on the world of entertainment now, as actress Mikey Quintos and Paul Salas are no longer together. Mikey confirmed this on Tuesday's Fast Talk with Boy Abunda, stating that no third party was involved in their separation. She said that, yung bakit, I think it's better if you hear from him. That's better. Pero honestly, before today, pinag-iisipan kong mabuti kung magsasabi na ako sa public. Kung hindi, mahirap to for me. According to Mikey, she hopes to share more once she's okay and ready. She also added that she's holding onto her faith in God and His will. Shocking for me, lahat ngayon, shocking. A month ago na yung nag-start kaming mag-usap about this decision and ngayon nagiging clear sa amin na ito nga yung tama for us. Mutual naman na decision to, she added, as she also admitted that despite the breakup, she still loves Paul and that the decision was not easy for her. She also said that what she learned about love is that we attract the love that we give ourselves. Kung gaano natin kamahal yung sarili natin, yun yung love na tinatanggap natin or ganun yung mga lalaking na-attract natin or yung partners na na-attract natin, she concluded. And before we go, I would like to give you a quick teaser. I'll keep this simple and short. A duo. Familiar with that one? A duo is returning to koolNews. Stay tuned. And that is it for tonight on koolNews Primetime. For more news, updates, and information, keep it right here on 99.5 Hot FM. Your feedback is very much appreciated. If you wish to send one, send it at the NBS Network. From the nation's capital, I'm DJ San. Until then, hope you have yourselves a very good evening. Stay safe and take care. Go have yourselves a peaceful sleep and happy April Fools. This is 99.5 Hot FM, your #1 hit station. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas!